Hi there, my name is Chelsea Kinsella, and today I thought I would talk to you a little bit about how to get your horse soft in the bridle. And so you might be wondering why I'm on the ground and not on a horse. And so that is because to get lightness, it has to start on the ground. So it comes from the smallest things, but the thing that I'm going to focus on today is leading. But first you might notice how I'm holding this little Canadian, or he's not little, this gelding Ace. So he's going to be for sale. I bought him in about November, and I bought him to sell for someone as a bit of a winter project for myself. Anyway, so I'm standing with a lot of slack in this rope. This is because every time we touch our horse, it should mean something. And so if you're kind of absent-minded like myself, you'll want a longer rope so that if you're moving around with your hands or something, you're not constantly bumping them and asking them for something that you didn't mean to ask for, because that will dull them out. So he is a pretty responsive guy. He's been worked with quite a few times, but he's still a good example. So we'll start just here. When I touch this, do you see how that meant something to him? So then if that little touch means something to him, when we're under saddle, that will mean something, the rein, because this rein here is the same as the rein on your bridle. So if we're leading, see he didn't really follow me there. So we're going to pick him up a little bit there until he gets off of the rein. There should be no slack, or there should be no drag when you're leading. So there, he's not following. So get him off of that. And another one too, and this is one that Buck Brannaman speaks about. When your horse goes backwards, see, he's not soft yet. There, he's softer. So I'm just wiggling back and forth until he gets soft. And he's going to go into the fence, so I'll have to turn. But we don't want to release until he is soft. And there, he took one soft step, and he got kind of into a mess there, but we can't really stop until he is soft. Otherwise, we are reinforcing to not be soft under saddle. So there again, when I led him forward, he didn't get off the halter right away, and so I asked him to get off of it a little bit harder. See, that should have meaning to him. When I move, he should also move. And so then if we're going to go and lunge him, see, that should have some meaning there. And when you go backwards, see, there, needs to get off of that rope. And another way too to check to make sure that your horse will be soft with their bridle is if, when we are backing up, he has to have his nose down and in, but he has to be soft about it. There, he's soft. And then if you bring him forward again, there should be no brace. And he had a little bit of a brace, which is why I asked him to move into a trot to get off of the lead chain. So there. And there's a bit of a, you can see the leg there before he gets up off of that halter. And so we can do it again. So I do this a lot until that was a little bit nicer. So you would just do that like 9,000 times until your horse can do that every time without a brace. Because I don't have a horse as a good example where he gets stuck aside from him. But if you ask them to go backwards, and first they go backwards gross, so you have to fix the back. But then if you ask them to come forward right away, they should just be able to rock forward and off of your halter. But if they stop and they go, that's where you know that you have a brace under saddle as well. Because all of this stuff I do on the ground is to help me when I'm under saddle. And so these little things that you do as well, you can also teach a horse to really ignore your cues, and therefore you can teach him how to bolt or buck or something, inadvertently of course, but you can do that if you're not paying attention to some of these little things. If you ask them to do something and they don't do it. So for example, he's pretty attuned to me, so I'm not sure if he'll do it. But if I pick up here, and there was no response, but if there was no response, and I just let go, I would have taught my horse to just ignore what I'm saying. And so it starts small, but then it can really escalate. I've had to fix a couple client horses that bolted due to just some of these tiny little errors. So anyway, I hope that helps, and it's a good way to keep your horse from bolting and to get them soft under saddle. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon.